Hi. This is another vinyl update. So, I've finally found myself in a situation where I've got a bit more money and I've gone to the record stores and just managed to buy quite a bit. First off, I was a bit going for all the cheap records and stuff like that, but as the week's gone on, I managed to spend a bit more. So this is what I got. So I've got a couple of CDs and 6 records in all. So I'll start off with the CDs. In the record stores at the moment, there seems to be a lot of sort of cheap jazz and soul CDs at the moment. So I managed to get this one. Otis Redding, the last CD I needed to actually get everything that he did on CD. The only exception is that I don't have the Monterey live album, which I'm not even sure if it's available on CD, and even like the vinyl costs between £30 to £40. Well, at my price range or something like that, and he only does about 5 songs. The rest of it's Jimi Hendrix, and I found this as well, Billy Cobham Spectrum, something that's been on the vinyl community quite a bit. It's a pretty good sort of jazz fusion-y sort of album. A band that is sort of local to me, you might have heard of them, called Massive Attack, sampled one of the tracks on here, Stratus, which is the 6th track on here. There's a sort of bass line on it, and they use that for the track Safe from Harm. It's a pretty good album. I don't know if these sort of Japanese records are actually the really good ones. I think they might be sort of cheap budget copies, 1,000 yen. I don't really think that's much in Japanese. If anybody knows the conversion rate thing, let me know. Right, another record. Got Mind Bomb by the. Been really going through a sort of the kick at the moment. I've not actually listened to this, and I think this one's pretty beat up. I might have to give it another clean or something like that. I think this is his sort of Matt Johnson's political album. There's one track called Armageddon Days, or what's it? Let's find it. I think it's Armageddon Days Are Here Again, which is really, I think it was about the whole Salman Rushdie thing, about sort of the tension between the Western world, the predominantly Christian Western world, and sort of Islam, like the political form of it. But it sounds very apt in a sort of post-September 11th world. Pretty good song. It's got Johnny Marr on there. I personally cannot stand the Smiths, but I do actually have a bit of respect for Johnny Marr as a guitarist. He's pretty good. Queen, Sheer Heart Attack. Found this for £4. Usually it's a sort of a easy found in bargain basements. It's not in the best of condition, but it's actually okay. Their best album, I'd say. Best, hands down, in my opinion. A lot of people say The Night at the Opera, but I think that one's a bit of an overblown record, if you ask me. This one is this one is clearly a lot more bonkers. Brighton Rock, the first track on there. Freddie Mercury sounds like he's doing this sort of castrato vocals. And then it suddenly goes into this sort of epic Brian May guitar solo. In fact, that takes up the majority of the song. Then you get these sort of weird sort of mini songs Um, really over the top stuff, and there's not really many of their, aside from Killer Queen, uh, not it's not got their best known songs on there, but it's a really good record. In fact, I think this is their first top 10 album. I think, I'm not sure. Bought this album, Eden, by Everything But the Girl. Not really sure if it's my cup of tea. The lead singer, I've always liked her vocals. Well, I've always respected her as a vocalist, Tracy Thorn, and I mean she's done some good stuff. I mean, last year she did a Christmas album, which I actually listened to it, and yeah, I thought it wasn't half bad. These Christmas albums go, but this is like sort of post-punk goes easy listening. Again, I might give it another go. It was only £3, so I thought, what the hell, you know. I mean, another thing that Tracy Thorn has done, she did the vocals on the title track from Massive Attack's Protection. Been listening to that song quite a lot recently, and the video to it, which I think Spike Jonze did, is really good. You know, probably one of the best videos he ever done. Yeah, got Leonard Cohen's new album, Popular Problems. Not actually listened to it. It's still in the shrink wrap because it's got Bent Corner. Probably one of the banes of every record collector's life. Bent corners. It does look like it's been bashed about a bit. But, you know, if this was a used record, or if I actually bought it off some, I mean, I've got an Orange Juice album which I bought, which was sealed, but at least like the seller said to me, well, the reason why you're getting it so cheap is because it's got a tear in it. You know, I'm fine with that, but when you pay sort of £18, you expect it to be in pristine shape. So I'm not happy with that, but hopefully the record store that I bought it from will give me a replacement. I've not opened the seal. No, I went into Bath today, and it's not really one of the easiest places to get vinyl from. You know, they sometimes have a store in this Green Park Market, sort of twice a month. And, you know, I've got some brilliant stuff there. And, you know, HMV started doing vinyl, so I went sifting through the racks. And there's a couple of albums that I've not been able to get at some of the sort of more independent stores. So, this being the first one, Carnival of Souls by Perubu. You know, I've gone on and on about how much I like Perubu. And I mean, I've had it on CD for quite a while, and the reason why I really want to get the vinyl was because there's a completely different track listing. You get these weird sort of interludes on this one. Again, you know, I only really want it because I'm a massive fan and I'm a bit of a completist. I have everything on CD, and now I've got everything on CD, I'm just aiming to get everything on vinyl eventually. Huge chunks of it's not available. If you look on YouTube, you'll be able to find a video where Dave Thomas, the lead singer of Perubu, goes into this rant about how much he hates vinyl. It's quite funny actually, even though I'm a collector. I'm not one of those people that drones on and on about how much vinyl's better. It's just my preference, you know. I'd like CDs, I still buy them. Yeah. And last but not least is this album, which I got. It was either a toss-up between this one and a sort of Aretha Franklin gospel album, and I ended up getting this one, Documenting Eyewitness by Wire. And it's a funny album, you know. I like it, but it's not an album that's easy to sort of listen through from start to finish. It's very, very messy. And I mean, a lot of the tracks were a lot of the tracks were reworked on this album, Change Becomes Us, which is a really good record for a band who've been about, I don't know, since the 70s. I mean, they're still doing really, really good music. They're also a bit stubborn as a band. You know, they don't really sort of listen to what's going on around them. You know, they don't listen to fans asking to play requests. Generally, they do something very sort of snarky in return if you do that. But when you look beyond that, you know, for a band to be still making brilliant music years on. Now, this one, Document Eyewitness, was released in 1980, you know, after 154, and after they left DMI, and I must admit, I'm one of the few people that doesn't like, despite being a massive fan of the band, I do not like 154 that much. You know, it's got some good songs on it, but I've never been able to get through it from start to finish. And this was more of a back to basics live album, you know, very badly recorded, and there's a lot of songs on there which are messy sort of fragments, and it wasn't until they actually sort of revisited them recently that the songs feel a little more fleshed out. And but this is still a good album, you know, even though some of the tracks are very sort of embryonic in feel, you know, it's still a very listenable record, and it's still well worth tracking down if you're a die-hard fan. And this is a recent reissue on Pink Flag. I believe it was originally released on Rough Trade. Yeah, definitely worth. And there's a couple of tracks on there which are studio tracks. Yeah, good album. And I was once fortunate enough to interview Colin Newman, and of all the interviews I've done, it's probably the most nerve-wracking because he's, from what I've read, pretty much most of the people in Wire are known for being quite snarky when they want to be, but especially when people bring up the whole sort of Elastica court case thing where Elastica ripped off a track from Pink Flag. But no, Colin Newman, when I interviewed him, absolutely brilliant interview. It's people say don't meet your idols. Well, that's absolute bollocks. You know, if you do meet your idols and they turn out to be you know, good company, you know, sod it. You know, it's like floating on air. You just it's probably better than any drug. You know, that feeling. You know, and so I interviewed Colin Newman for about an hour, and it was absolutely brilliant. And he's got a really sort of dry sense of humour as well. And, you know, I was expecting him to be a bit to be very serious, but no, he was quite funny at points. So yeah, that's about all I've got. I'm really enjoying doing these videos, and I hope to do more in the future. And that's about it. Thanks, and until next time, goodbye.